I don't know if I want to say like the best year of my life, because every phase of life is so different and you can't really compare them all, but it has been an amazing year and I feel like so much has changed. Welcome to Life Unleashed,
the podcast all about creating the best life for you and your furry best friend.
If you're a dog mom on the go, juggling life, work, and the endless joys of being a dog parent, then you're in the right place. I'm Dani.
And I'm Nick.
And together with the incredible dog mom community from Tails Up Pup, we're here to share advice, stories, and the obsession we have over the love for our dogs.
Get ready to laugh, learn, and lean on each other because life with your dog just got even more awesome.
Our baby officially turned 1 this week. Happy birthday to Callan. He is 1 year old, and when people tell you that time flies by with a kid, they really mean it. You just don't know until you're in it yourself.
I feel that it's been simultaneously the longest year and the fastest year.
Yeah, it's
I don't
so
know how
weird.
that, like, it doesn't make sense when I say that, but at the same time, like, there's been, when you're in it, it feels so long, but when we're looking back on it, it's like...
So you're living the days are long, but wait, what is it? Then the days are long, but the weeks are short or something, like each day feels long, but then now you're like, how has it been a year?
Yeah. When I'm looking back, I cannot believe it's been 1 full year. It's like so much has changed.
The birth itself feels like a long time ago, but whole entire...
That literally feels so long ago, doesn't it?
But his whole existence here on Earth feels short. And maybe that's because like we've been here for 30 years and he's been here for 1 year.
Wow. That puts that into perspective, doesn't it?
It's crazy how much changes in a year too. I feel like the first, and I am not a parent long enough to know, but I feel like right now the first 2 years are probably going to feel like the biggest changes, because they go from literally nothing to now he's walking, he's saying some words, he can communicate somewhat, and then by the end of the next year he'll be talking a lot more and just doing so many things. And then I feel like when they're 3, they're like fully more independent, able to do all the basic things, and so then it gets a little bit like less of these huge jumps.
Yeah, there has been so many big jumps from 0 to 1.
I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in, oh, this person's doing, or this person's kid is doing these things and mine's not. So this is not a podcast about comparison, because I know I find myself falling into that too. This is just us sharing our journey so far. And there are some things that Callan was like, like milestones he was accomplishing early, but there also were ones that he wasn't accomplishing early. He has been determined from the very beginning. Like, he had head control basically day 1. He wanted to lift his head, look around. He was rolling over. He was standing up so early, and he was definitely walking early too.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he literally came out of the womb like trying to look around, like having head control. Like, it almost was unbelievable.
Yeah, we don't know where he got that from, but...
Like, we would put him on his belly, and he'd be, like, literally trying to pick his head up and, like, look around. It's like, dude, you're not really even supposed to be able to do that yet. And, like, he was day 1 doing that.
Nick and I, years ago, took a 23andMe test, and it did say that my DNA...
Get out of here, Dani.
...has powerlifting... What is it, like... I am known
to
be,
your muscle fibers have like the DNA that is seen in more power lifters, I guess.
Yes, I am a power lifter in my DNA. So maybe Callan has that. I would be so interested to see.
I don't think that plays any role into like his head control as a tiny baby.
Yep,
do you think?
He came out. He was ready to be a power lifter. He'll carry a 5-pound bag of potatoes around, and
he is very strong. But honestly, all babies, now that I've like been paying attention to this more, all babies do have crazy grip strength.
Yeah, they do.
For their size, it is pretty incredible. Like, their strength to weight ratio is actually really crazy. But yeah, so Callan right away had the really good head control, and then within a few months he also continued along that same line of like he was pulling up on things super early. I just feel like in general he was like a strong baby.
If you follow my Instagram stories, we called him Hulk Baby, and
yeah, Hulk Baby
really was Hulk Baby, and he has stayed strong.
But other things that he was not doing is he did not giggle for a long time.
There were no giggles. And I brought it up to the pediatrician. I was like, should we be worried about this? And she did say that the only reason that we would be worried is if we thought that he couldn't hear well. And we have come to find out that he can hear fine. we think, it seems. So he still does not giggle as much as other people's babies. I don't know. We must just not be funny.
When he was really little, we did get one giggle, and it was like the coolest moment. But like our friends, their baby would giggle a lot, and we're like, Callan just doesn't do that.
He smiles a lot, and that's probably the number one thing people comment on him about is how happy he is and how smiley he is. So he does have a happy personality. He just doesn't giggle, and we don't know why, and it's sometimes sad for me.
So while he wasn't giggling, he's always been expressive, like with his like face. But
Nick is good at getting him to giggle if he tries really hard.
Yeah.
Not me. He doesn't think mom is funny.
I don't know. There is a big difference, and you can see it more and more as he gets older. There's a difference between how he interacts with me versus how he interacts with you.
Yeah.
Like mom
and he
dad.
knows that dad is the roughhouser and that they can wrestle. He does a little bit, but for the most part, he doesn't wrestle me the same way that he wrestles you.
He doesn't. How is that even? He's so young, and he's already like picked up on that.
It's crazy too how early on we realized that he knows certain words, even though he can't say them. If I would say like, "Where's Holly?" he would look in her direction, and it seemed like he truly was making connections between things, which happened way before I ever thought it would. So I thought that was really cool.
The first thing, like word that he picked up on, and it might have even been the gesture, but it's hard to, I don't know how you separate the two. I guess you could do the gesture without the words. And when I would do the gesture, he would do it. I would like put my two fingers out in front of him when he'd be laying down, and I'd say grab. Like, so he'd grab my fingers to pull himself up. And he did that very early on.
That was cool.
That clicked for him very quickly. And you do that, he'd grab.
Because he would want to sit up.
He'd want to sit up. So you'd put your fingers in front of him. You'd say grab. He'd pick both of his little hands up, grab onto your fingers, and then like you'd help pull him up.
I wonder if you do that now, if he would remember.
I literally do it every time I change him.
Oh.
I go grab, and he grabs, and I pull him up.
I don't see it as much as I used to.
You need to do it.
Yeah.
It's so cute. He still does it.
His first word was mama, and he still says mama the most. He will put him in the gym daycare, and then when he sees me down the hallway, he screams my name. It's so cute. He does say dada, just not as much.
It is so funny watching kids learn to like talk. He will walk around mouthing mama for a while. That's what he did in the beginning.
He moves his mouth.
Before he even said it, it was like he was ready to say it, and he just hadn't come out. And so he was moving his mouth. He was practicing. And then once he said it, all he would do is walk around the house, mama, 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 just like, and he wouldn't stop. He doesn't do that as much for me.
Yeah. And now
I never see him mouthing dada. Only that first week when he finally said it, he mouthed it a lot. But since then, he doesn't like just walk around mouthing it. But like you can just look at him across the room, and sometimes he'll be mouthing mama.
I thought his first word would be hi because I say hi to him so often, and that seemed like an easy one. But he has not really said hi yet. I feel like he said bye one time, but it probably was a coincidence.
When did he say bye?
He did. And I feel like I've heard him say book, but his third official word that he does say consistently now is dog.
He does say dog, but the G is hard for him.
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like dada, but
Or
it's
duck.
like duh.
And he says it to them, so he is being intentional.
And he's very intentional about how he's like hugging Grace. He really has now come into his own with Gracie. He does love Holly, and I felt like Holly was his favorite for a while, but now Gracie lets him like snug and all of that stuff. So
yeah, they're very good. I feel like a lot of people ask us, how are the dogs with him? And it has changed over time, but for the most part, they love him. They're interested in what he's doing. They definitely want his snacks and his toys, and they do like to play together. But Nick, my question for you is what is the number one way your life has changed?
The number one way?
Yeah.
If I just
what
say
are like the biggest impacts on your life with having a kid?
No time for anything else.
Like it revolves around him.
I feel that all our free time has pretty much been consumed by Callan in some way. Well, it's not that I don't have any free time. You just have to really, really carve it out. Before kids, when we would work, we would be working, and besides that, you pretty much had free time when you
could do
wanted
whatever
to.
you wanted.
I guess if like we had like something scheduled to do with friends, or like we had a date or something like that, you had something, you had that plan. But besides that, every other moment was more or less free time, I guess. Now it is the total opposite. It's like, once a week, it's like, how do I find 2 hours to like sit down and write or to do something like that. You really have to be so intentional to get that free time.
Because even once he goes to bed, then we have to clean up everything. Sometimes we're good about doing it in the moment, but sometimes it's our at night task.
This started during pregnancy, I would say, because when Danielle was pregnant with Callan, she was not feeling super good. And so that was pretty much right away. So I started then to take over a lot of the cooking duties, cleaning duties, things like that, just to help pull some extra weight because Danielle's growing a human. So since then, I would say it really felt like a lot of the tasks that I've had to do have increased around the house. And obviously now when Callan was born, I still continue to do those things because now, not that Danielle was feeling bad, she was taking care of Callan. So someone has to be taking care of him. Sometimes it's me. Most of the time it's Danielle's watching Callan. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing those things. So all of that stuff has, I would say, increased. We could share more of the load before because one of us wasn't having to watch a baby. It was if I was cooking, you didn't have to be cooking. If I was cleaning, you didn't have to be cleaning. Now it's like you're both having to do something. There is no downtime or free time there. So overall, I would say the free time to yourself has gone away almost completely, and you really have to be so intentional of carving that out.
I feel like in the last month or two, now he is a little bit more independent. We are able to do a few things while he is awake and hanging out with us. Before, it was impossible to leave him. He has to be watched all the time. I feel like now, we can vacuum and he's just fun, loves running around to chase the vacuum, and we can put some things away and he's fine to hang out in the closet with us. So he's a little bit more independent in that way. And I think that's going to change even more in the next year, especially we got one of those standing towers for the kitchen and he loves to stand and eat in that now. And I think as he gets a little bit older, he'll find joy in watching us cook and hanging out with us in the kitchen. And so that would allow someone to cook and have him be there so the other person can fully do something else. And right now that's just not possible. He's not going to sit down there and cook with us.
And we never had a baby that was totally chill to sit and be by themselves for any length of time. A lot of people were like, I miss those 0 to 4 months, 0 to 5 months when they couldn't move around, they weren't mobile, and they were just content to sit there. Our baby was never that way. Callan wanted to be held. He never liked to just sit there and chill. Sometimes he would snug with you on the couch, but besides that, he was pretty much demanded to be held the whole time. He would cry if he was being put down. So I feel like that stage was probably the worst, in my opinion, for me, because you had to physically be holding him the entire time. And when you're holding a baby, you have only one hand to do anything, so you really can't do much. Now you can at least put him down and he'll walk around. You have to be watching him and stuff, but you're not having to be holding him the entire time.
My friends who are having babies now, they're like, when does it get easier? My answer is 6 months. Once they can sit up on their own, I feel like our lives drastically changed because you could put him down anywhere. Before they can sit up, you have to worry about their head and where they can sit and where you can lay them down. And it's just very stressful, and you constantly have to be with them. And once they can sit up, it is so much easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a big milestone. And also because he was a lot less frustrated when he was sitting up too. So I feel like his overall fussiness and crying went down. And I think in those first few months anyways, that's when they're the most fussy probably.
Yeah.
So, that's probably compounding it too. But I'll throw the question back to you. What's been the,
I wasn't prepared.
Come on.
What's the question?
What's been the most challenging thing, maybe the most unexpected thing?
Well, the most challenging thing has been balancing everything. And based on social media and the videos that we post, I feel like a ton of people say, how do you do it all? And the answer is, I don't. I do it all, but I do it all less than I used to. That's the real answer. Is yes, I work. Yes, I'm a mom. Yes, I sometimes cook. Sometimes I clean. It just depends on what needs to be done. Nick and I are very good at communicating. That's the number one key. It's these are the things that have to get done. This is the priority, and who's going to do those things and who's going to watch the kid, basically. So right now, when Callan is awake, someone has to be with him. He's not that independent. He can't be by himself. The basement where the office is not kid friendly enough to take your eyes off of him. there are lots of machines and just things everywhere. There are stairs down there. There's just lots of things that you have to be watching him all the time. And so there is a playpen down there that he will sometimes be content in for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's another thing. People talk about, like my grandma was saying, oh, just put him in a playpen. I'm like, if you put him in a playpen, he literally screams his head off until you take him out of there. After, he might give you 5 minutes, like you said.
He's more independent, like in his playroom. If he's in here, he'll play by himself for a little bit, way better than if he's in a playpen. It's like he knows he's in jail and he doesn't like it.
He does now.
So, yeah, we sometimes can take him in the basement, but someone still has to be watching him. So if we're trying to like talk about a business thing or something, we can do that. But for the most part, when he's awake, we're up. One of us is upstairs and one of us is working. And we really just balance that out based on priorities and what needs to be done. And yeah, Nick has really taken over most of the cooking, and I have taken over most of the taking care of Callan, and that's what works best for us. And sometimes we change it up if we feel like we need to.
Mostly that has to do with what Callan wants. I feel like he normally chooses Danielle over me. He'll be content with me, but what we've come to find out is when Danielle's around and I'm around, he typically gravitates to Dani.
If
so
he
if
can
she's
see me,
if she's around, he's going to her.
So when Nick is trying to hang out with him, and if I'm going to clean the dishes after dinner or something, you'll mostly take him outside.
I have to, because he basically will continue to go into the kitchen and try to like climb up on Dani if she's around. And so there's no real way. And if Danielle wants to do work, I'm like, you have to go downstairs, because I cannot physically keep him away from you. He just continues to go back to her, and it's like, Holly with her ball. He's neurotic with it.
The most helpful thing in knowing this, okay, well, I'll just say our child is obsessed with outside. So the most helpful thing is knowing that, so that most of the day we're going to spend outside, because he's much more happy. He's independent. He'll play around. He, for the most part, is learning what he cannot put in his mouth, and he does listen, because he knows that if he doesn't listen, then he's not going to be allowed to play in that area, which it means basically going back inside. And I feel like he's really started to comprehend that. And so we play outside a ton. And if we do have a babysitter come over or anything, I'm like, if he's unhappy, he wants to go outside. Like, he is just literally obsessed with it.
He is. He's obsessed with his car outside. He's obsessed with all his like outside toys.
Yeah, we do have some fun things. He has lots of different vehicles he likes to ride in. And I feel like we take him on less stroller rides now, because he is so mobile and he likes moving around, and I want him to get his energy out, and that allows him to sleep good. We do have a good sleeping baby. We are very blessed with that, and we did train him pretty well, I will say. But I know sometimes training doesn't mean anything, and it is all in the DNA. And I feel like we kind of got the best of both worlds with that, and he does love his sleep.
Yes, he does. It is one of the, his naps have been the thing that changed the most, but his nighttime sleep has been almost always very good.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to say, like, the biggest groundbreaking thing is that this week he's starting school.
Can you believe that he's going to school at 1 year old? Did you think that he was going to be doing that?
I mean, I don't really know what I thought, but
I did not think. I was like thinking that kids go to school like when they're starting like 3 or 4. But let's preface it. He's going to school in a mother's morning out like 2 days a week, just a few hours. It's not like he's going to like school.
But we are calling it school.
Yeah, it's his own little school. He's got a teacher. He's going to have a teacher.
Technically a preschool. So they do have a curriculum, and he hasn't started yet, so we're about to see, but we feel really good about it, and it will be a good balance for all of us, because Callan is obsessed with me. He needs to learn to be independent and be away from mom, and mom also needs to work and get some things done. So I think it's going to be helpful for everyone. And he is very social. He loves talking away when we take him to the gym daycare. He loves playing with the other kids, and I think he is going to thrive in an environment like this.
I hope he does. I think the biggest part is going to be like the dropping off.
Yeah.
Like
especially in the beginning.
Yeah, he's gonna not exactly know. And it's longer than at the gym. So anytime it's a new place, new people, there could be a little bit of adjustment there. But I do think that he will adjust. And it's not like it's every day for 8 or 10 hours a day. It's 2 days a week for 4 hours?
Yeah.
So that's not bad at all. I think it's really going to be beneficial for him. So as we're sitting here, has this first year been what you expected it would be, or obviously it can't be. You couldn't have expected all of this. I know we've talked about these things before, but in general, is this how you expected to be feeling after your kid was turning 1?
Looking back, I feel like I didn't have that many expectations. Like I just didn't know what to expect. I had never been a mom. I hadn't been around that many kids. I did like babysit / nanny for a family in college, but that was so long ago. Like that was almost 10 years ago. So I felt like we were starting from scratch. I didn't have much knowledge on babies now and like what to expect. So I feel like I went into it pretty blind. And same with you. You really hadn't been around a lot of babies.
I basically haven't been around any babies.
Which is wild. So when the nurse came and she's like, do you want to change his diaper? We were both like, can we have a tutorial?
Yeah, I'll watch you do it.
Yeah, we watched her
if
do
you're
it.
offering.
Yeah. So I would say, no, it wasn't what I expected because I didn't have any expectations. But it has been, I don't know if I want to say like the best year of my life because every phase of life is so different and you can't really compare them all. But it has been an amazing year and I feel like so much has changed and I'm so excited for the future. I'm like seeing some people that we know who are traveling and doing all these fun vacations and it's like one day we'll be doing that. It's just not our time right now. I feel like once they're a little bit older would be more fun when, you know, I would rather not travel with diapers. I feel like once they're potty trained, maybe that would be a lot easier.
Yeah, you did a road trip with Callan recently, and there was going there was a hard time, wasn't it?
Yes, I think road trips are probably harder for kids, especially young kids, than an airplane because on an airplane...
Put Callan in an airplane for 4.5 hours and find out. I don't think that would be fun
I think
either.
it would be a little bit easier than the car ride, especially by yourself because I couldn't entertain him. I could barely hand him anything because I was driving. And so on an airplane, I think it would be a little bit easier.
I still think he'd be screaming and not being able to do what he wanted. It would not be fun.
Yeah. Well,
and the thing is so yeah, it'd be easier. You'd be able to hand him stuff and those types of things, but you would really not like the social situation of him screaming and all those people. You would melt.
Yeah, I would stress about the other people.
Yeah. So
but how far is Wisconsin? Because that's where we're gonna go in 1 year.
On a flight?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 hours, 1.5 hours.
Oh, good. That's easy.
Not far.
Good. Okay. So that's what we're going to a family reunion in 1 year. So Callan will be 2, which I feel like he will have a totally different mindset by then anyways.
I think everyone says that traveling with 2 and 3-year-olds is the worst.
Yeah, I could see that because they probably just want to play and move around and do all the things. But I do think that they would keep headphones on and that could be helpful.
I doubt it.
You doubt a 2-year-old could?
I doubt he will. I think, yeah, they're not quite old enough to really understand, like, you need to sit here and be quiet and, like, oh, let's walk on the aisle. And it's they want to do what they want to do and they can't quite comprehend all the stuff. And so it makes it like Tantrum City.
Well, he'll be your problem. I'll sit in first class by myself.
That would be nice.
Just kidding. I feel like it would be nice to have all the hands on deck, and Nick's parents will be with us too. So
yeah, we'll give Callan to my parents. Yeah.
I feel like he would be happier with them too.
That is true. You know, that's one thing that is very true. Callan probably is worst for Danielle out of everyone.
Yeah.
He
just wants to nurse.
Not, or just in general.
That's another topic.
I think people say
breastfeeding for 1 whole year.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think that he is the most comfortable around you, so he feels like he can just be his true, authentic self.
That could be true.
So that's what I've heard before. But yeah, breastfeeding for a year, that's crazy, Dani. Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you.
proud of you.
I am proud of myself. I feel like I did not expect that at all, ever. But especially in the first month, I was like, Nick, I am not doing this for that long. Like, I'm about to give up.
Now that you've done it, though, do you feel that you're glad that you chose to breastfeed versus bottle feed?
I think that there is no good solution. Like, while you're breastfeeding or pumping and you're like, I can't do this, I want to give up. It's, for me, well, I guess I don't know. A bottle probably is easier, but like you still have to sit there and feed it to them. It's not like you can't just not feed the kid, you know?
Right.
It's still demanding and time consuming and all of those things. But breastfeeding for everyone is so different, and I totally understand how it can take a toll on your mental health, and I think that there is so much pressure about it, and people just need to make the right decision for themselves. And for me, I felt like that was something I wanted to do, and I'm so glad that I did it. I feel like it was good for both of us and us as a family, and the cost of formula now is crazy, and there have been a few scares of shortages, which would have also stressed me out, having to worry about, like, that's the only thing your baby consumes. So if you can't get it, what are you going to do? Like, that is so scary.
The other thing, too, that I think both of us, particularly you, liked about breastfeeding was it was easier and more convenient than having to deal with bottles, formula, all of that stuff.
We didn't have to pack anything. I just had my tatas, and that was all we needed.
Or like in the night, like it was always frustrating, like because he didn't love cold milk out of the fridge, but it can't stay out for too long. All these different things. I guess formula is a little bit different because, like,
you have to mix it like fresh.
Yeah. Oh, then that's even worse. Could you imagine like getting up at night, having to go mix? Really, it was like grab Callan, hook him on, back to bed.
Yeah.
Like that's nice.
Yeah, it was nice once it worked out for us. The beginning was a rough patch, but we made it through.
Remember, I was feeding Callan in the beginning. That was the first like month, 6
and
weeks.
Nick would have to feed him his bottle so I could pump, and it was too hard to pump and feed him at the same time in the middle of the night.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
that was really bad. Hopefully with baby number 2, it won't have to be like that, and the breastfeeding will work.
It's so crazy though. Like, you have no idea what your milk supply will be like. Everyone in every pregnancy is so different. So it's crazy that like what happened this time could not happen next time. I was very lucky to have a good supply of milk. I never had really any issues. And so hopefully it stays that way the next time. I know my mom also had that, so I don't know if it's hereditary or not.
The other thing, too, is just the confidence of you having done it for a year now has got to be helpful. Yes, the baby's going to have to learn and do all of those things, and that will, I'm sure, be its own struggles. But just having confidence of doing it before has got to be helpful.
Yeah. Now all around, we just know what to do now. So it's very efficient. Well, I guess that's our little recap on the past year.
Yeah,
August
happy birthday,
13th,
Callan.
Happy birthday to our firstborn son, and it was so much fun to not know the gender and find out in the moment. I just love that. People always ask, like, would you do that again?
I know one thing, you definitely didn't think this time a year ago that you were going to have a boy.
I did not. I thought Callan was a girl, and I was wrong, so I have bad mother intuition.
No, Dani, don't say that.
While the birth was traumatic, the last year was definitely worth it. We love him so much. I feel like you hear it all the time. Like, you don't know love until you have your own kid. And I truly feel that. Like, it is so crazy.
It has been an amazing year, but I do feel like I've aged 5 years in this 1 year.
You don't look it.
I feel like I do. I feel it. I feel it.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for loving on our son and for always sending the sweetest messages about him. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.